Here's a present for you.
Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and this is kind of sadly actually the final day of Tech-mas, as I will be visiting my family out of province at a much earlier schedule than I originally anticipated, but don't worry, we're not cheaping out here, don't worry, you're still getting some tech, and we're going to do a double dose today, and on top of that, I'm going to give you secret forbidden Broly tech that you might think is a dumb joke, or you might think is the single most important tech you've ever seen in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So without any further ado, let's go over the training mode. So we're going to be starting off today's video with Super Saiyan Vegeta, and what we'll be showing you is basically a little more optimal combo than you might see most Vegetas use, and it's going to be involving multiple uses of his dive kick in the corner. And no, this isn't a sparking blast combo or anything like. This works like a normal combo, and you can use it off a regular starter here, so this is no only down medium starter, the kind of thing. This works off normal combo starters just fine. So this does come in thanks to Vegeta, and if you look at the max combo damage here, that's basically the damage of like a more normal jumping starter than you might see. So we'll just use that as our comparative base, and I'm just going to show you the combo first, and then we'll break it down and show you how all the constituent parts worked. So there you have it. I can see here, the damage is a couple hundred points higher off a scaling combo starter. Now, once again too, it is tricky. It's going to be up to you to decide whether or not this will be worth it for you, as the timing can be a little bit strict. But now, what I'm going to do now is just let's break it down to all the parts and why it worked. So first and foremost, when we're doing our combo, we want to do stand medium into crouch medium instead of, I know a lot of people like to do down medium and stand medium, and for regular BBs it's fine, but since we're going right into his medium flurry kicks, the only way that combos is that way, as the other way it kind of misses. So once we're there, what we have to do, and this is the single most difficult part of the whole thing, if you get this, you got the rest for free pretty much, is we have to immediately jump straight up and immediately hit down and light attack, which is his dive kick. So you basically have to, as the frame you recover on the ground after you are done this move, you have to immediately go like this. You have to basically do instant dive kick. So let's just show that quickly in motion here one more time, and we'll do it in slow-mo. Now, once again, this is the hard timing part, so if you do it too quick, you're actually not going to leave the ground, you're just going to wind up getting the down and the light kick, and if you do it a little too slow, you're going to actually connect the dive kick, but you won't quite get the ground bounce. So after that, we're just going to jump and do a ki blast and cancel that ki blast into another dive kick on hit, and then go for the stand heavy, and the rest kind of writes itself. As you can see it there. So once again, it is tricky, I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you're looking to get as much damage as you can with a reasonable starter, because once again, this works off basically everything. Like, you don't need no fancy starter or going outside your comfort zone for, a lot of weird stuff like some of the more elaborate combos in the game you might see, where you need very specific starters, and if you don't get them, you're not going to get the combo. This works off the usual stuff you always do. It's just there's that one split moment here where you kind of have to do the instant dive kick. That's going to be where you're going to find your trouble. But if you can get past that hurdle, then hey, you just got more damage coming your way, right? Now, the one thing is to, unlike, the combos that launch up higher, you will have less time to kind of enjoy the enemy being helpless as they do the slide knockdown, as with combos that don't launch high with, either a regular down heavy or the air down heavy. They will have a small sliding knockdown, but they'll be able to recover pretty much right away as you land later than they do. And you're not going to be able to basically do a lot of Oki setups, but if you're just looking for pure damage, this is the answer. So with that all said, hopefully it makes sense to you. Give it a shot. Once again, depending on your execution, it might not be for everybody. But if you can do it, and if you just need the damage more than anything else, this is the answer. So with that said, now let's move on to part 2 of this video. We're going to move over to Android 16. So for Android 16, we're going to be talking about block strings. So 16 has quite a few options for block strings, more than, kind of a lot of the cast. Mostly because you can do a lot of fun stuff like canceling the grab here, or if you want to be really tricky, you can do it with the air grab and then, hit them on one side or the other side. And the one we're going to talk about is a little similar to that, although it doesn't quite have the height, and it gives the enemy a little bit less time to react, and that's with his down heavy. So the down heavy is basically the only down heavy in the game that lets you air control on whiff. Now, like a lot of other characters, you do stuff on block with their airborne down heavies. You can air cancel and like do all sorts of stuff, right? Even on an earlier Tech-mas episode, we covered Gotenks doing exactly that. But what these guys can't do is do things if they don't connect. So it doesn't matter how much we do anything, they're not going to do anything if they didn't at least get blocked, right? 16 is not in that crew, as he can still do air actions after he misses, as you can see there. So we can do this, we can jump, we can do this, we can dash, and that's kind of the essence of this particular block string. So now I'm just going to show you a quick example. So there we are, very simple block string, and see there is no fancy timing or anything I would like. And what does it offer us exactly? Well, first off, since we land right in the enemy's face, we can, hit him with the stand jab, or sorry, the jump jab that is, and that will be an overhead, which if it connects, you can then go and recombo from there. Conversely, when he hits the ground, there's no landing lag at all, so you can immediately just land and go for a low or something like that. Now also, due to the height he's at, he can just clear go over your head. It doesn't matter if you're standing or anything really. Even taller characters, you can just clear go over the head. A standing Broly might be an issue. And also say a standing 16, but for the most part, against the bulk of the cast, he's going to be able to cross over cleanly, and then hit you with a cross-up and potentially a full combo. Now, for some of the counterplay options, can they deflect? Absolutely, of course they can. You're allowed to deflect a lot of things if there's any kind of cap in this game, right? But then, of course, as always, you can just land, then go for a low, then Dragon Rush, something like that. Also, the deflect will not beat cross-up timing, and you'll be able to get a full combo from there. Now let's have a look at Vanish. Well, if they attempt to vanish out, as you can see, that's a guaranteed punish, because once again, this guy is set to block everything, right? So that is a guaranteed punish. Now, of course, this is all dependent on which assist you are using, right? Depending on the assist, that can happen, or they might even just completely whiff. But basically, there's no threat of counterplay from the Vanish. Now, what if they do, raw level 3? Well, hey, then you're going to get hit, right? That's just how it works. Also, if you stay on the same side with a down heavy, obviously you will get down heavied. However, it's not all doom and gloom for the down heavy end. Now, certain down heavies, like say a Goku Black, you're gonna want to get out of the way. Like, don't fool yourself on that one. But for a lot of down heavies, you can either do something simple as like just backdash and then homing dash punish it, or we can do something like this. And as you can see here, the cross-up attempt goes clear over their head, and then depending on the nature of the down heavy whiff, because not everyone has the exact same frame animations and frame data, you can actually dash up and get a punish right from there. So you gotta keep yourself fairly safe, once again character depending on that. Now there's just one thing I do want to note here to finish this off here, because I do think it's a pretty strong technique, but there's a note to mention against the very tall characters. So for the tall characters here, like Broly, like 16 and some others, so here we are, we're doing our block string, and what happens, if they're standing, if they're crouching, there's zero issue, but if they're standing, the shoulder will actually just kind of catch the edge of them. And that's actually not what we want, because then the shoulder is going to overwrite the block stun of your assist and kind of throw everything, just throw a monkey wrench into everything. So all we have to do is just tailor the block string just a little differently. So all we got to do here in this specific scenario, and you can change the block string for however you want. The block string, as I showed it, doesn't really matter. It can be anything you want it to be, as long as the down heavy whiffs and the assist takes over the block stun. But in this specific scenario, just to give you one idea, we can do something like this. And then we'll do the shoulder, and then after that, the down heavy will whiff. As you can see there. So we didn't ruin the block by having Android 16 accidentally tag the enemy. We can still keep it going. And once again, this works with a variety of assists. I'm just using Goku as a base because the beam is a nice, good base. And now for the final part of the video, I'm actually going to be cutting to my video camera on my phone as we have discovered a Christmas miracle for Broly. Now, you might be asking yourself, hey, Rooflemonger, what's the deal? Your monitor's jacked, dude. Like, look at this. Why are the colors so wrong? And no, the colors are not so wrong. Through the power of RGB and changing our colors on our monitor, we can finally make Broly's destructive finish green the way it was always meant to be. So get to your monitors, get rid of those pesky RGB settings you already have, and free Broly and let him have the destructive finish that he was always meant to have. This is a Christmas miracle, and finally Broly can play the way he was always meant to be played. And there you have it. So once again, very sorry for a bit of an early end of the series. Perhaps it was a bit foolish of me to commit to 12 straight days in the middle of the holiday season. But oh well, it is what it is. All I can say is I sincerely hope you found any of the videos of any use. If you found anything in the videos very useful at all, then I did my job, and I'm very happy that you got to watch it, and hopefully you can apply it to the best of your ability. But my friends, that's it for me. So before anything else, before the usual end spiel, I want to sincerely say to everyone watching this and anyone who's watched so far, I hope you guys have very safe and very happy holidays. Stay safe, be good to one another, and I hope nothing but the best for all y'all. Anyways, that's it for this video, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.